Hello everyone, myself Snehal Shinde, lecturer in Pravin Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology from Electrical Department. Subject is Utilization of Electrical Energy. Subject code 22626. Unit 2 Electric Heating and Welding System. Now we have seen earlier classification of the electric heating system. In that there is the resistance heating. So direct resistance heating, this is the diagram of direct resistance heating. In this case, the current is passed through the charge which produce I square R loss in the charge, and thus charge is heated up. Here is the simple arrangement of the direct resistance heating. The charge may be in solid or liquid form. Two electrodes are immersed in the charge. If the charge has a very low resistance, the two electrodes may be cause of short circuit, so a high resistance powder is generally sprinkled over the charge. The current from power supply is passed to the charge through the electrodes, thus the charge is heated up. This method is used in salt bath furnace and electrode boiler for heating water. So this is the diagram of the salt bath furnace. Salt can conduct electrical current. Electrodes are immersed in the salt, sodium chloride. The fusing point of the salt is 1000 degrees Celsius and it can be heated to 1500 degrees Celsius or more. There is the circulation of the salt after it is heated up. This can provide uniform heating for the charge. So the figure shows the electrode type salt bath furnace. So construction of this salt bath furnace is a step down transformer provided with the tappings 400 to 5 to 20 volt is used for this furnace. It has 3-phase primary and single-phase secondary. The electrodes are connected to the secondary as shown in the figure. These electrodes are put in the bath and current is circulated through the electrodes. The salt in solid state is put in the bath. In the solid state, it is the insulator. So initially, some molten salt is poured to start conduction of the current. If the molten salt is not available, then a separate arrangement is used to heat the salt in solid state between the electrodes. Now the circuit is charged with a lower voltage. Electrodynamic force is produced due to which stirring action occurs, resulting in circulation of molten salt. The up and down movement of the electrodes for effective control is provided by a separate motor. Thermocouple parameters are used to measure the temperature inside the bath, the temperature of the bath is between 500 to 1400 degrees Celsius. The use of this is for heat treatment such as hardening, annealing, tempering. Precautions to be taken is the poisonous gases which are produced during stirring action of molten salt must be thrown out. This is done with the help of the exhaust fan. The bath material should not be too conductive in its solid state. Because of this, short circuit may take place. So to prevent this, it is desirable to sprinkle some non-conducting powder between the two electrode tips. The second type of the resistance heating is indirect resistance heating. It is also known as the resistance oven. In indirect resistance heating, the current is passed through some heating elements and this heat is passed to the charge through the radiation or the convection. Bath type of resistance furnace or resistance oven is an example of the indirect resistance heating. Bath type of the resistance furnace. So a typical bath type resistance furnace is as shown in the diagram. So the inside chamber in which the body to be heated is kept, which is surrounded with the heating element made up of nichrome. The chamber and the door are made airtight with the help of the rubber gasket. The chamber again is surrounded by thermal insulation so that the heat is retained inside and it will not pass outside. An atmospheric circulating fan unit is provided at the top so that the heat is transferred to the body by convection. For automatic temperature control, a suitable thermocouple is used. The low temperature furnace about to 300 degrees Celsius is generally called as oven, but these high range temperatures between 300 degrees Celsius to 1400 degrees Celsius are called as furnace. So the application are small ovens for drying the coatings like varnish, high temperature furnace for annealing, hardening, melting of non-ferrous metals. So there are the requirement of the heating element or the desired properties of the heating element. So first is the high melting point. Melting point should be sufficiently higher than the operating temperature. High specific resistance. The resistivity of the material used should be high, due to which length will be smaller. Third is its oxidizing temperature should be higher. Low temperature coefficient of resistance. The variation in resistance with the temperature should be as small as possible so that resistance should not change much more when temperature is increased. Ductile. To have convenient shapes and size, the material should be ductile. Mechanical strength. It should withstand vibrations, so it should be mechanically strong. It should be anti-corrosive. It should not be affected due to the chemical fumes or any other chemical reaction. Cost factor. So the cost should be moderate for the heating element according to the economic point of view. Its properties should not be affected due to the frequent on or off switching of the supply. It should operate with the good power factor. So this is the main property of the heating element, or the required property should be in the heating element system. So it should be high melting point. So melting point should be higher. Then it should be high specific resistance. So ductile, mechanical strength, anti-corrosive, cost. So these are all the factors or the requirements of the heating element or the desired properties of the heating element. Next we will see the application of the resistance heating. So here are the application of the resistance heating for metal processing, annealing, general heat treating, heating for case hardening, melting, LED, zinc, zinc, enameling. Then for ceramic or the treating china, earthenware. Then for chemical purpose, cracking of the gases. For miscellaneous uses, example, cremation furnace. So there is a vast application of the resistance heating for the metal processing, like a work like hardening, annealing, general heat treating. Then for ceramic for treating the earthen chinaware. So to mold the ceramic parts of our ceramic structures, the resistance heating is used. Then for chemical purpose like cracking of the gases, if there is the cracking of the gases, so here also the resistance heating is used to settle it the problem. Then for many other processes like in a furnace, like a cremation, other type of the application is of the resistance heating. So in this video we have seen the resistance heating, then its types of resistance heating like direct resistance heating, indirect resistance heating, then salt bath furnace. So we have also seen the requirements of the heating element or the desired properties of the heating element and its application. So in next lecture we will see the remaining part of the resistance heating element, like the direct design of the resistance heating element, and we will start our next classification of the electric heating as we have completed the electric resistance heating. So the next is the arc heating. In arc heating there is the direct arc furnace and indirect furnace, same as the resistance heating. So we will see in next lecture the detailed of arc heating, its construction, its operation, and its application. Thank you.